You probably use their kind of technology every single day, but you've likely never heard their name. For years, a company called Astronomer was one of the most powerful yet invisible forces in Silicon Valley. It's the type of silent engine that helps power the services you use, from streaming to data processing. It's the secret weapon for analytics teams at some of the biggest companies in the world. For the better part of a decade, they were a company known only to an elite group of data engineers, a name whispered in technical circles as the gold standard for a problem you didn't even know existed. They were quiet. They were foundational, and they were worth over $1 billion. But a few weeks ago, that all changed. A single viral video and awkward moment caught on a stadium kiss, Cam blew their cover in the most spectacular way imaginable. Overnight, the company's name was everywhere, plastered across social media for all the wrong reasons. A scandal had erupted, centered on its CEO, and it thrust Astronomer, its people, and its powerful technology into a spotlight it never sought. Now, everyone is asking, who is this company? How did they become so essential? And what exactly is this technology they control that has the entire industry watching? To understand how we got here, we need to go back in time before the scandal, before the memes, and before the viral videos. We need to go back to a problem. A huge, messy, chaotic problem that was crippling the fastest-growing companies in the world. Picture it. The mid-2010s. The era of big data is in full swing. Companies like Airbnb and Netflix aren't just tech companies anymore. They're data factories. Every click, search, ride, and stream generates an avalanche of information. This data is pure gold, but there's a catch. The gold is buried under a mountain of digital rock, and getting it out is a nightmare. Data doesn't just show up in a neat package. It's coming from everywhere. User databases, ad platforms, payment processors, mobile apps. It all needs to be collected, cleaned, processed, and moved in a specific sequence. This is called a data pipeline. In the early days, these pipelines were incredibly fragile, a tangled mess of custom scripts and timed commands. One data engineer described it as trying to conduct an orchestra where every musician has different sheet music and is playing in a different key, with no conductor. If one step failed, the whole system could break. Data would be lost, reports would be wrong, and engineers would spend their nights frantically trying to fix it. It was a massive bottleneck. This was the exact chaos that Maxime Beauchemin, an engineer at Airbnb, was facing in 2014. His team was drowning in complexity. So he built a solution, an open-source platform to programmatically author, schedule, and monitor these complex workflows. He called it Apache Airflow. Airflow was revolutionary because it treated workflows as code. Instead of a messy web of scripts, engineers could define their entire data pipeline in a single Python file. They could see all the dependencies, track progress, and easily restart failed jobs. It was the conductor the orchestra desperately needed. The project was made open source, and its adoption was explosive. Soon, data teams at thousands of companies were using Airflow to tame their data chaos, and it quietly became the industry standard for data orchestration. But here's the thing about powerful open source tools. They can be incredibly difficult to manage at a large scale. It's like being given the keys to a Formula One car, insanely powerful, but you need a whole pit crew to keep it on the track, and that's where our main character enters. In 2018, a group of founders, including Ry Walker, Greg Nyheisel, and Pete DeJoy, saw this gap. They realized there was a massive opportunity not to replace Airflow, but to build a business making it enterprise-ready. They would be the pit crew. They called their company Astronomer. From the start, Astronomer made a critical decision. They put Airflow first. They dedicated themselves to contributing to the open source project, becoming its main commercial driver and earning the community's trust. They operated quietly, raising around $300 million from major investors like Bain Capital and Insight Partners, but stayed out of the mainstream tech press. They weren't chasing headlines. They were building a silent empire, becoming the invisible foundation for the data-driven world. So, what does Astronomer actually do? Data orchestration sounds abstract, but the problem it solves is very real. Let's go back to the Netflix example. For you to watch a show, dozens of data processes have to happen flawlessly. Your subscription status is checked. A server near you is found. Your viewing history is updated for the recommendation engine. Each is a separate task, and they all depend on each other. Now multiply that by millions of subscribers. The complexity is mind-boggling. Orchestration is the art of managing all of this. It's the master system that ensures task A runs before task B, and if task C fails, task D doesn't start. Airflow provides the open-source engine for this, and Astronomer's platform, Astro, is the highly polished enterprise-grade vehicle built around it. Think of it like this. Open-source Airflow is a professional-grade kitchen. You have the best ovens, the sharpest knives, the most powerful mixers. You can cook anything. But you still have to buy the ingredients, manage the pantry, and fix the oven if it breaks. Astro, Astronomer's platform, is like an all-inclusive 5-star restaurant powered by that same kitchen. It handles the logistics. The ingredients are ready, the staff is trained, and if an oven breaks, it's fixed instantly. You just focus on creating the recipes, the data pipelines, and Astro ensures they're executed perfectly at any scale. Specifically, Astro solves the biggest headaches of running Airflow. It handles all the infrastructure automatically, scaling resources up or down so you only pay for what you use. It provides a unified control panel to see every data pipeline across the whole organization. One of their biggest innovations came from acquiring a company called Datakin, which led to Astro Observe. This feature gives you a visual map of your entire data ecosystem. If a pipeline breaks, you can instantly see the point of failure and understand its impact, turning hours of debugging into minutes of diagnosis. Astro is also cloud agnostic, meaning it works seamlessly across Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure. This focus on taking away the pain of infrastructure allowed data engineers and scientists to stop being system administrators and start being innovators. This is why Astronomer became so foundational. They weren't just providing a tool, they were providing leverage. They were building the picks and shovels for the AI and data gold rush. Call to action. This deep dive into how complex systems are built is exactly what we explore on this channel. If you find this kind of storytelling valuable, take a moment to subscribe. It helps immensely and ensures you won't miss our next deep dive. For years, Astronomer's success was defined by its quiet competence. The company was a well-oiled machine, its name synonymous with reliability. Its then CEO, Andy Byron, had been at the helm since July 2023, overseeing major growth, including a $93 million funding round in May 2025. Everything was going to plan. And then came the Coldplay concert. On a warm evening in mid-July 2025 at Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts, the band was playing to a sold-out crowd. The stadium kiss cam panned across the audience and settled on a man and a woman in an embrace. The man was Andy Byron. The woman was the company's chief people officer, Kristen Cabot. The footage showed the two in a close hug before they seemed to realize they were on the giant screen. Their reaction was immediate and awkward. They pulled apart, trying to shield their faces. It was a fleeting moment, but in the age of smartphones, it was instantly captured. According to multiple reports, Coldplay's frontman, Chris Martin, even quipped, "Either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy." The video hit the internet like a wildfire. Within hours, it was a viral sensation on TikTok and X. Speculation about a workplace affair between the two executives, both of whom were married, ran rampant. The internet did what it does best. It dug up their professional histories and created chaos. A fake apology statement, allegedly from Byron and bizarrely ending with lyrics from the Coldplay song, "Fix You," even began circulating, which the company had to publicly debunk. For a company built on control and order, it was a public relations catastrophe. The board placed both Byron and the HR chief on administrative leave and launched an investigation. But the damage was done. Days after the video went viral, Andy Byron tendered his resignation. The company's official statement was stark. "Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently, that standard was not met." The silent foundational player was suddenly very, very loud. Andy Byron's resignation marked the end of the immediate crisis, but the beginning of a new era for Astronomer. The scandal had done something no funding announcement ever could. It made Astronomer a name people outside of data engineering had actually heard of. The company moved quickly to stabilize. The board appointed co-founder and chief product officer, Pete DeJoy, as interim CEO. The choice was deliberate. DeJoy is a foundational figure who helped shape the product from day one. It was a signal to customers and investors that the core mission of technical excellence remained unchanged. In a statement, the company tried to re-anchor the narrative. "Before this week, we were known as a pioneer in the data ops space. While awareness of our company may have changed overnight, Our product and our work for our customers have not. It was a plea to look past the drama and see the substance that was there all along. And here lies the great irony. The scandal, while born of a personal failing, inadvertently threw a massive spotlight on the company's success. People who came for the gossip stayed for the technology. Journalists writing about the viral video first had to explain what Astronomer even was, and in doing so, told the story of a unicorn startup that powers some of the internet's biggest names. The question now is, what happens next? A scandal can be a fatal blow. But for a B2B company like Astronomer, the equation is different. Their customers are sophisticated data teams at large enterprises. They're less concerned with the personal lives of executives and more concerned with uptime, performance, and security. As long as the platform remains best in class, the business will likely remain resilient. The scandal has forced Astronomer out of the shadows. This newfound visibility is a double-edged sword. It brings scrutiny, but also an unprecedented opportunity to tell their story on their own terms and cement their position as a critical pillar of the digital economy. The company's future will now be defined by its ability to navigate this spotlight, to prove that its core of innovation is stronger than the controversy that surrounds it. So what do you think? In an age of intense public scrutiny, can a company's technological strength allow it to overcome a leadership scandal? Or does a failure of conduct at the top inevitably erode the trust crucial to any business? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.